Is the legendary Shure SM7B really 9 times better than the budget-friendly Shure PGA48? Today I'm putting these two microphones head to head so you can decide whether the extra $400 is worth it. Oh, and keep watching until the end because I found something surprising when I started playing around with the audio from these two microphones. For most of this video, I'll be recording with both of these microphones and I'll switch the audio between them. I'll put up on the screen which mic you're listening to at any one time. The audio will be unprocessed, but I have added an inline pre to each microphone so that I can get a clean boost to the output signal. Here's the Shure SM7B, a dynamic mic with a cardioid polar pattern. Now, this is the Shure PGA48. It's also a dynamic mic and it also has a cardioid polar pattern. It's an entry-level mic for spoken word and karaoke performance that costs a remarkably low $47. And the mic has got some weight to it too. If I take the grill dome off, you can see the mic capsule underneath, and on the inside of the grill, the wire mesh dome is lined with a foam pop filter. Now, this PGA48 doesn't look or feel cheap, and unless the mic capsule is really shocking, I don't understand how Shure can make and sell this microphone so cheaply. So, do you want to spend $400 or more on this Shure SM7B, or can this $47 mic get the job done? Let's do some tests and find out. I've put inline pre's on both of these microphones so that I can get a clean boost to the output signal, and I'm running that into my Zoom H5 recorder. Also, you may have noticed that the front of the SM7B is further forward or closer to my mouth. So you might think that that microphone is closer than the PGA48. In actual fact, with the foam filter taken off the SM7B and the grill taken off the PGA48, both mic capsules would actually be the same distance from my mouth. So let's do some tests. This is going to be a direct comparison between these two microphones, and I'll cut back and forth between them so you can hear how each one sounds. This is the Shure PGA48 and I'm speaking at about 6 to 8 inches from the capsule. And now this is the Shure SM7B, and again I'm speaking at a distance of about 6 to 8 inches from the mic capsule. How do these two microphones sound when I'm further away? Now, I've got a wall behind me, so the maximum distance that I can get from these mics is about 18 inches or almost half a meter. Now, I've got a wall behind me, so the maximum distance that I can get from these mics is about 18 inches or almost half a meter. Next, a proximity effect test. Here's the SM7B close up, and I have to speak much quieter so that I don't clip the audio. How is it sounding? And now here's the PGA48 close-up. Again, I'm going to have to speak quieter than normal so that I don't clip the audio. How does it sound? Moving on, Plosives can be a big deal when recording voiceovers and narration. In this test, it's going to be a worst case scenario, so no additional pop filter. First, the SM7B. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. And now onto the PGA48. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Now let's move on to a sibilance test. Those SE and sh sounds can be annoying, so let's try this. This is the SM7B first. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. And now the PGA48. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells seashells by the seashore. Now moving on to the noise from these microphones. Remember, I am using inline pre's to give these mics a clean boost so that I can keep the H5 gain in a region where the recorder's preamps don't produce as much noise as they might if I had them turned all the way up. I'll give you an on-screen warning when I'm going to start speaking again, but I'll give each mic about 5 seconds of silence. So here we go. Finally, my last test is off-axis rejection. Now, instead of speaking while spinning the microphones around, I've got a white noise generator app on my phone, and I'll move my phone around the microphones so that the source level hopefully should remain constant distance from the mic capsule. So if you're ready, let's begin. Protect your ears. Here we go. The SM7B at 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 35 degrees, 180 degrees, 225 degrees, 270 degrees, 315 degrees, and back at the front again. And now let's do the PGA48. Again, protect your ears. 0 degrees, 45 degrees, 90 degrees, 135 degrees, 180 degrees, 225 degrees, 270 degrees, 115 degrees, and back to the front. So those are my tests on these two microphones. So how do I think they compare? Well, in terms of build quality, both microphones are good. Now, if anything, I'd say that the PGA48 pulls ahead of the more expensive sibling because it's so solidly built. And the output signal from the PGA48 is a good bit higher than from the SM7B. That's no big surprise though, considering that the more expensive mic has a reputation for having a low output signal. Unless you want to max out your audio interface, you're going to need a cloud lifter or a FET head pre on the SM7B, but you can probably get away without a pre on the PGA48. So that's another plus for the cheap mic. You don't need extra gear to get a good signal. Now, I don't think I need to go into a detailed assessment of the SM7B. There are countless critiques on YouTube of how this microphone sounds. If you want a recommendation, I'd search out the Podcastage channel from Bandrew Scott. All I will say is that the microphone sounds professional, it doesn't add any unnatural colorization to your voice, and it has a wonderfully warm tone to it. It's also an ideal mic for the spoken word. Now, how about the PGA48? It does exactly what it's designed for. It's good for spoken word like speeches and karaoke performances. Unlike the SM7B, it's a brighter sounding microphone and it's also quite crisp. That emphasis at the high end will help your voice cut through in mixes where you've got something in the background like music or environmental noise. It also doesn't deliver the oomph in the low end that the SM7B has in abundance, but it does what it's intended to do, and it does it really, really well. Now, when it comes to pops and sibilance, I don't think I need to comment on the tests. You heard the results of the tests and you can make up your own mind. Off-axis rejection on these two microphones was typical of a dynamic mic with a cardioid polar pattern. If you record your YouTube videos where there's a little bit of background noise, then both of these microphones will help you get clean audio. So now let's return to the original question that I posed at the start of this video. Is it worth spending the extra $400 on the SM7B? Well, sure, I would, but only if I had the spare cash, and realistically, you'll also need to spend another $50 to $150 on an inline preamp to get a decent signal out of this microphone. But if you're on a budget and you don't have that extra cash, then yeah, I would go for this cheap mic. Now hold on, don't go away, this video isn't over yet. I've got a bit of a surprise for you that might make you want to go out and buy this $47 microphone, even if it's just for a bit of fun. You see, I've been playing around with the audio that I've recorded with these two microphones, and I've also seen the video by Julian Krause where he EQs a Shure SM57 to make it sound like the SM7B, and I got thinking, could I do the same with the PGA48? And I think I've done it, albeit less scientifically than Julian. I'm going to record a video to show what I did and let you hear the comparison, and I'll put a link up to that video at the end of this video when that video's ready. In the meantime, which mic did you prefer? As if I don't already know. But tell me in the comments anyway, because that will help this video. And if you found the test useful, hit like and share and subscribe to the DIY Video Studio channel for more gear comparisons and content creation tips. Oh, and YouTube thinks that you'll like this video over my shoulder. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support this channel so that I can continue making more videos, check out the links down in the description and the pinned comment, and I'll see you over on the next video.